Hi everyone, it's Elena. I'm doing a recording today to share an experience I had recently. So this summer I turned 40 and my doctor reminded me that it'd be a good time to go get a mammogram, since I'm 40. So I'm like, well, okay, I wasn't going to go out and get it, but since I had a regular scheduled appointment and they said you should do it, I did. And so pretty quickly after I got that mammogram completed, they called me and said, hey, you have some really abnormal areas in one of your breasts and you need to go get a diagnostic mammogram. And they're like, and you need to go get it done really quickly. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that led me on an interesting journey of learning how to get a referral and having people call you back or not call you back. And basically I found my own place and had them send a referral, and I got hooked up with Watson Clinic in Lakeland. And so I went there, had a ultrasound and a diagnostic mammogram, which is a 3D mammogram if you didn't know. And so based on those results, things looked pretty grim, that I had a serious situation to deal with. And so from there they recommended doing a biopsy. And so I had another appointment, came back, had a biopsy done, and basically the biopsy results, the pathology did not match what the scans show, because what the scans show is some very abnormal things that look very much like cancer. So they're like, okay, we're not satisfied with this. Let's do a different kind of biopsy. And what I didn't realize initially is that there was like two different very abnormal areas kind of like together. And so I went back for a second biopsy that was like the next level one, a stereo biopsy. And so they took more samples. That one they took a lot of samples, and the results also came back as benign, and it had a whole bunch of other things that I can't even remember to tell you. But the bottom line is, the radiologist really said you need to go have an excisional biopsy done, which is where they do surgery to take a large sample to get a definitive diagnosis, because again, the scans look really scary and, as I heard lots of times, extremely abnormal. So I'm like, okay. So I got myself through, with a little help, hooked up with Moffitt Breast Center in Tampa, and had a consultation with a surgeon there. And right before Christmas break, I had surgery, and they took a very large sample of like the two areas that they biopsied. And the really good news is I got the results that were benign. So we definitely put it to bed that while I had a lot of weird abnormal things going on, it's not cancer at that time, and a lot of it is no longer there. But through this whole process, it took about 5 months. And so from the end of July to the very end of December. So that's kind of a long time to be unsure of what's going on, when you basically have people looking at things and saying, this really looks like cancer. And then your results, which you're prepared to hear that it is, that it's not, and it's all very confusing. And so if you ever have any questions about anything that I just described that I went through, I'd be happy to talk to you about my experience. But the bottom line here is you need to go and get mammograms done, starting at 40, or if you have a family history, you should go sooner. Of course, who knows is if this situation I had could have turned into cancer. Of course, they're not going to tell me that, but I asked, but they're like, it's kind of irrelevant because a lot of what was concerning is now gone because they took it out. So I'm like, okay, well, That's cool. But who knows? And it's not anything that could have been felt. So ladies, go get your mammograms. Stay on top of things. If you're a gent, remind the ladies in your life that they need to do those things, and also stay on top of like those basic preventative procedures whenever it's time to be getting them. You know, they're not pleasant sometimes, but it is important. If you can catch something early, you're going to have a lot less, a smaller problem to deal with than if you let it go. So anyway, I just thought I would share this, encourage you to go get things done. If you're very nervous, it is nerve-wracking, but you can do it. And I highly encourage you to, like, for me personally, I didn't get on Google and look up stuff and treatments and what it looks like, because I didn't want to go there and plan for that unless, you know, I truly needed to. So I kind of relied on my support system, which for me is a small group of people because I'm pretty private, which is kind of funny that I feel driven to make a recording to share this with you. But anywho, life is funny sometimes. But you guys take care of yourselves and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.